Sligo is one of the 6 places in Ireland that you can study architecture, and we've been delivering architecture education here for over 20 years. We embrace our role in the Northwest as the educational centre supporting dialogue and social engagement. Our aim is for our students and graduates to be confident and critical thinkers with a personal vision towards quality design. An important aspect in realising this aspiration has been to ensure that our architecture programmes are closely connected to this inspiring town and community of Sligo. The students begin their design process with an interrogation and understanding of place, its unique pattern of memory and identity. This methodology of design is taught from year 1 and is based on a thorough research of the layers that constitute place, enabling our students to have the quality of solving multiple and complex problems at one time, while seeing opportunities where challenges exist. This short film curates a selection of work and conversations with our architecture graduate students from 2020, and it focuses on a dialogue around regeneration of place and the transformative role of architecture in realising the town's potential. The 4 key urban blocks selected are Customs House Quay block, Markovich Road block, the Mall block, and the Abbey Quarter block. Sligo town is surrounded by water. The Atlantic Ocean immediately to the west, Lough Gill immediately to the east, with the Garvogue River connecting both. This project explores these relationships and focuses specifically on the 1.2 kilometres of dual riverbank section running from Millbrook Weir at the transition from Lough Gill downstream to the tidal waters below Hughes Bridge. This short length of watercourse, Ireland's shortest river, comprises a variety and a striking diversity of natural and man-made settings that narrates Sligo's historical identity and meaning. However, despite the close proximity of water in and around Sligo town, like many Irish towns, it developed with its back to the water, and it is only in the relatively recent times that key public realm developments along the lake, river and estuary have started to become part of the day-to-day life for Sligo residents.
My name is Conor Sheeran. I'm from Bundoran, County Donegal. I selected the quayside block on the junction of Hughes Bridge and Customs House Road to focus on for my project. For me, it was in the worst state of decay of all the blocks, but it had the highest potential as a gateway site into the town. I felt that the energy bound up in the area of the old quays and the famine port would be the perfect catalyst for attempting to reconnect the east and west portions of the town that were divided by the construction of the N4 Inner Relief Road. The building I chose to design was a holistic maternity care centre. I wanted to design a new prototype for the Irish healthcare system that removed all the joys of pregnancy from the institutionalised interiors of hospitals. The idea of having this place would help bring people from different cultures kind of together in a way that they wouldn't normally have had a chance to get together. And, you know, when you bring motherhood, that's a very central part of I suppose, like society. And it's one of the ways that we can use as a bridge to kind of connect people in a way that they don't normally connect. It could be one way that we can try and address the issue of racism and things like that in a rural Irish town.
My name is Lucy Mooney. I'm from County Tyrone. For my final project, I designed a Yates Academy of Design and Architecture campus building in Sligo Town Centre. I decided to look at Custom House Quays block. I loved the existing architectural forms, and I believed it had a strong physical connection to both the town centre and the river that needed to be explored. This building's purpose is to accommodate the workshops and offices for rent, of which are open to graduated students of YADA to transition smoothly from practice to professionalism. The buildings both open up onto the courtyard, which is open from both the Lower Quay Street and Riverside Boardwalk.
My name is Juma Watson. I'm from Craigavon in County Armagh, and the building I designed for my final year of college was a circus school for Sligo Town. So I decided to build a multifunctional internal and external space that promoted the development of a circus, performance and visual arts. Sligo has a strong creative and cultural background, and this art hub will complement the area. It had a car park area to the east of the site that could be made into a public park. It had clear views to Benbulben and along the riverfront. It had potential for regeneration of that whole area, creating opportunity for new business to pop up. I wanted it to be an inclusive space for locals, tourists, and circus members alike. The design of the building revolves around the concept of a thin space, which in Celtic mythology represented a point of transition between the world as we know it and the world beyond. The aluminium cladding on the front facade was to resemble a cave-like entrance to the underworld and reminiscent of the cliff edges of Benbulben. At night, the roof will light up and be visible for some distance, becoming a key landmark in Sligo's identity.
My name is Kiva Burke-Tuppy. I'm from Castlebar in County Mayo, and my proposal for my project was a community development for the elderly in the centre of Sligo town. So I focused on the Markovich Road block. There was so many kind of derelict houses within the block, and I chose it because I wanted to do a residential development, create connections and create bridges between residents. So the communal building actually has 5 kind of arms or facets of the building, and each of these arms point towards a different bridge within Sligo. I wanted to open up the coach arches on Holborn Lane, and this creates shortcuts within the block and creates more permeability. So there's a garden leading from the public spaces of Stephen Street into the block and then out towards Holborn Street again. The public gardens for the elderly, which also incorporate the greenhouse, and they can also safely walk through past the library, through a garden, and down across the street to Stephen Street public realm, which also incorporates all the public amenities of the river, all safely and all on pedestrianised walkways.
Hi, I'm Jane Lim. So I'm from Malaysia. The site I choose within the Markovich block is the library museum site. I wish to integrate a new building into the existing urban fabric by create an extension through the library museum and reuse as a youth center where young people can meet for socialize. My concept is to create a mix of old and contemporary architecture, develop a space that bring in positive energy. My intention for the new extension is to respect the history and memories, also preserving the existing volumetric quality of the library by creating an open plan in the space while reuse the existing museum as a private space.
Hello, my name is Owen Denver. I'm local. I'm from Dromahair and Leitrim. In my urban analysis of the town, I had focused on the promenades and the people's connection to the river. The building I chose to design was titled a craft hub. It was a space for crafters in Sligo to have a workshop in the town in the same building that they can sell and interact with the public. The model was close by with the art workshops. So I proposed a building that furthered that integration of craft, which is a strong part of Sligo's identity. Conceptual architectural ideas behind the design was strongly influenced by the materials in crafts. I focused a lot on the wicker basket. So I chose a wooden building, which is also environmentally friendly and sustainable. The specific construction method I used was a glulam frame that went through the whole building was exposed kind of like a rib cage down the middle of the building. The public realm proposals I suggested for this site were promenade. There is a promenade already further up the river and further down the river, so I proposed a connection between the two. So I really wanted to provide a connection from the commercial centre of the town to the nature so close by.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Hoey. I'm from Tullamore, County Offaly, and my proposal was a pulse point in Sligo. So it was a cultural hub and boutique accommodation to bring tourists from around Europe into Ireland. The mall is a prime development site due to its close proximity to public transport, the hospital, and a budding nightlife on the edge of town. I believe the mall is in need of a vibrant restoration. It provides the opportunity to open existing alleyways that lead from the mall street to the river's edge to form a new public realm and create a connection back to the town. The building entrance retains the integrity of the form of the streetscape. However, when you enter the building, it begins to unravel from the traditional form into a less conventional and more organic design as you descend towards the water's edge. The main traditional form is constructed from block. The existing stable shed is then fixed with a zinc cladding, while the accommodation pods all overlook the water's edge of the Garavogue.
My name is Annie Mitchell. I'm from Colliery in Sligo, and for my final year project, I did a co-housing project in the Abbey Street car park. I did an in-depth study into the historic pathways and routes of Sligo town, and these are something that I really wanted to bring back, that people could move from A to B, that they could connect, that they would be where the community would thrive. I wanted to have housing in Sligo town centre that was suitable for all ages. I think there's a real shortage of it. It is something that will definitely renew the town centre, that will bring more of a sense of community. Co-housing also would include a common house, and it would really take away the loneliness and isolation that a lot of housing estates and housing developments have. Having a mix of ages was really important to me, because I really think there's such a shortage of livable accommodation for all ages in Sligo town.
Hi, I'm Ina Nicolacha. I'm from Galway, Ireland, but I was originally from the US. That's where I was born. The block I chose is the Abbey Quarter block. The reason I chose this was because of the Abbey, and it interested me because of the history and the people that would have lived there and how important that used to be within the town. The building I chose to design is a lifelong education centre. There are 3 buildings that were blocking the Abbey. So I chose to remove those 3 buildings that would open up the Abbey again to the river and create a more open public space. You live in a place and you kind of gather all this information, and to be able to kind of put it all together into one project was very interesting.